All right, so how is Indiana different now under their new staff from what you've seen?
Well, obviously they're pretty deep. They have a lot of new pieces, but their depth, they can play a couple different ways. They got some guys that have really bought into defending, and they can put a lot of pressure on the ball. They'll take passes away. They have their bigs are athletic. They can play the passing lanes, can block shots. Very, very active defensively. They have active hands, get a lot of deflections. So you have to be strong with the ball. You got to really cut hard so you can get your catches where you want, because they do a good job of kind of knocking you out of that or pushing you out further.
Have they been able to space things out for Trace a little bit better this year with Stewart and Kopp?
I think a little bit. They still had guys last year like Al Durham that could shoot the basketball, and so it just kind of depends on the game and how the game is flowing in terms of the spacing. Stewart can really shoot. Obviously, we're familiar with Miller Kopp's ability to shoot the basketball, but they've had other guys step up in particular games and knock down threes. Maybe their overall numbers aren't great from three, but they have the ability to get hot and knock down 3 or 4. So it's going to be a total team effort. I think across the board, you got to know where Trace Jackson Davis is at all time. He's so good and so quick and athletic that he puts you in a bind. Sometimes it's when you play great players, the adjustment in a game. Like, can you adjust after the first 5 minutes? Can you adjust at halftime? Or are you ready to play and you understand of just how good he is going both ways, even though he prefers to go left? It's still hard. He's one of those guys that sometimes exactly what's coming and he still does it. And I think that's kind of a true test of a player, is when you know what's coming and he still scores on you.
Was there evidence from Monday that your defense did take a step forward when you just kind of look at regulation and what happened in those 40 minutes?
Yeah, they got us on some breakdowns, just on some dribble penetration stuff where we just didn't bottle the lane up, and we got to do a better job of keeping the ball out of the paint when you got a little bit of a lead and they're going to be more aggressive. You can't talk in theory and say, okay, hey, no threes, then just stay with your man. You got to still be able to give help and engage situations, so you're helping on those drives, but you're also not giving up those threes. It's a little bit of a balance, and then we got to do a better job in ball screen defense. But no, I thought we had stretches in the game where we did some really good things, and I thought we were pretty active at times, and that's what you got to be. You got to be active, and you got to be able to keep playing, especially when you get behind plays.
I think people tend to forget sometimes Zach and Jaden are still relatively young players.
Yeah.
Do you see them getting better right now in various ways? It seems like Jaden's been really good defensively the past couple of games. Zach's taken a step from physicality, perspective, things like that.
Yeah, sure. Like, I think any time you get more experiences, it's going to help you, especially when you go on the road. Going to Penn State and Illinois and being able to get those wins. Those are huge. They both were close games. They both were games that we had to keep our poise and execute and just kind of finish the game. And we were fortunate in the Illinois game. We were in a pretty good position in regulation and overtime and weren't able to pull it out, but we kept our poise and we played well. And that second overtime, we were able to push the lead out and win the game. So anytime, that younger guys can get in games and have some success. Zach was aggressive to start the game, especially, and going right at him, and we had good spacing. And then Jaden did some really good things. Obviously made his free throws. Did a good job on the ball. Just kind of keep working. The play's not over when your man gives it up. You gotta keep concentrating when you guard bigs. Like Trace Jackson Davis or Kofi. Sometimes people get so enamored with them when they're away from the ball, they're hugged up, and then that just doesn't help anchor your defense. And then guards, I thought our on-ball defense made some strides, but there's at times we fall asleep away from the basketball. We just got to be more alert away from the basketball.
Do you feel like Traven got the shots that he normally gets? It just one of those nights where
he probably had a couple of them he'd like to have back. But for the most part, he took 18 shots, 15, 16 of those shots are really good shots. And, he hurried a couple layups that he missed. He had a couple just 3 or 4, jump hooks right in the paint that, he normally makes. And just stay with it. Just keep going. Just keep, wanting the basketball, keep being aggressive. They take it away, get it out of your hands. If they don't take it away, score the ball.